wonderful friends, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. So if you've not seen this video, I would advise to go watch it first, because that might give you like an opening into this video that I am currently doing. So I uploaded a house tour video on my channel, and from that video I got quite a number of comments. Quite a number of people wanted to know how much my house cost or how much I put towards the renting of the house. But for reasons best known to me, for privacy and all that, I hope you guys understand, I won't be able to put that out there. There was another comment that somebody said that I wouldn't want to put it there. Maybe she felt I was like trying to cover up on like maybe the house I was posting as the house being mine. Guys, let me just put it out here. I rented this apartment. It was not bought in any way. I just arrived from Nigeria and I rented. Renting, however, was not just for like one-off. I rented for quite a number of like months. The lease I have is for 1 year. Before I could get a house, it was tough, and I know anybody that is coming into Canada now might share the same opinion with me. To be very honest, it might be easier for you to get a job than for you to get a house. I don't know why. The housing market right now, it's really crazy all over the world, in North America and in Canada and in Ontario. So it keeps getting like smaller, like, so there are issues everywhere. But I don't know why Canada is like really like out of the blues and all that. It's really crazy. So I knew all that, and before I came down to Canada, before I landed, I already started the journey into getting my house. So some people land and they might be able to stay with relatives and all that, but I didn't want to do that, even despite the fact that I have family over here. I have family, like I have my little ones, I have my kids. It's not easy, like, to be very honest guys, you can't just go to someone's place with like a battalion, like a number of people, and expect everything to be like you expect free space and everything, because you have to plan for everything. So before you come down, I would advise you to like take the housing market very seriously, because for me that's number one. If you can sort out house, trust me, almost everything will fall into place. Sometimes job too. So though it depends, sometimes you might want to get a job in order to find where to like stay and all that. It all depends, and depending on the province you're also coming to, you also have to put that in consideration. Some other provinces are not as competitive. Like if you're going to like Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, I have people that are there, and it was not as difficult for them to get houses. I know people that they probably got jobs, and in 2-3 days of getting their jobs, they just looked at the address and they're like, oh, I want my house to be like very close to where I work, and they got houses. Do you get? However, in Ontario where I stay, it might be difficult or different. I don't want to use the word difficult because everybody's story is different. You'll find grace. At the same time, people that I know also find houses. So how did I get my house? Number one, I started the search very early. I was landing in April, but by March, 1st of March, I put the word out there that I was searching for an apartment and I was looking for a house. I had my brief too. I didn't want an apartment. I wanted somewhere that, because I have little kids, so I had what I wanted to at the back of my mind. And for the fact that I'm saying apartment doesn't mean that it is even cheaper. To be very honest guys, some apartments might even cost more than what my house currently costs. So don't let those words confuse you. Apartments does not mean cheap. Basement does not mean cheap. It all depends on your location. Do you get? But for me, location was not too very high on my priority. I didn't want to. I was not mandated to stay close to the city area. City area now is Toronto. So for me, some people might want to stay there because of their jobs and all that, and staying closer to Toronto means that you might be paying a lot for rent. For me, right now I don't really need to stay close to Toronto, so I opted to like stay a bit further away so that my rent can be lower. Do you get? So like I said, it depends on your brief. I have little kids, and for me an apartment was not going to really work for me because I wanted the space. For apartments, condos, you might not be, so you might just be enclosed in your immediate space. There are some apartments that have like gyms, swimming pools and all that, but I wanted like a house kind of, probably maybe with like an extra basement, just something like extra storage, like a backyard, a front lawn. All those kind of things were things I was looking out for because of my kids, so they want to go out to play. At the back of my head, that's just what I wanted. Everybody's needs are different. So number one, sort out what your brief is, depending on your family size, depending on you as an individual. What do you really want? What do you want to achieve from that house you're getting? Research and find out how much the rent towards that area you're looking for, or what you're looking for is. So if you're looking for a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom in a particular city, Google is your best friend. Everything is out there. Google. It might not be the exact thing, but you're working with a figure in mind. So it's not like you're thinking of 1K whereas the rent is 3K. There's a huge disparity. So make sure you do have like first-hand information on like what you want for your space and how much it's really going to cost. Start early, start researching early, start putting out the word early. So what I did was I worked with one of the best realtors, and this is someone that is a friend, like family and all that, and well, most people know her, and it's a strict professional thing. It was strictly professional and all that. I had like known her for quite some time before I even decided to come into Canada, because I have seen people that have used her, and I reached out to her too, and she was the sweetest thing. So my realtor was Carissa Realty, and she's the best. Trust me, she's the best. Let me quickly put this out there before I continue. You as a tenant coming into Canada, you're not paying anybody anything. So any realtor you reach out to that you need a space, you need a house, you're not going to be paying them €1. I didn't pay anything. I didn't pay $1 and all. I didn't pay anything, nothing. Because how do they not get their money? They get their money from the landlord you're getting the house from. So you are not paying anything. So feel free. Don't work in isolation. Don't work like don't disturb your head. Before you start coming down, make sure that you talk to your realtor who is going to start the assignment of giving you different houses to choose from. That is how my realtor worked with me anyway. So I gave her my brief. Oh, I want this number of rooms in this location. This is what I want. I want my kitchen to be this way. I want my like here to be. So I had a brief. I knew what I wanted. Everybody has a brief. So depending on your pocket too and all that, there are some places she will show me and be like, please wait a minute. no, let's not even go there. But we were working with the brief, and of course with the brief in mind, she was not showing me something that like was too far, because we knew what we both wanted, and that was what we were trying to achieve. So that's the second thing I'll tell you to do. Get a realtor and start quickly. Start searching. Put the word out there, because guys, getting a house is pretty difficult, and you might need to submit a lot of documents. You'll fill some forms. You might need to show your statement of account and some other things, probably your resident permit. Are you a permanent resident? Are you a student? Whatever thing, or are you on work permit? Whatever thing you have that makes you eligible to stay in Canada, you have to show it, your passport, all those things, so that they know who they are talking to. For statement of account, they need to know that you are willing or you are able to pay. I had to like show my statement of account. I have to even show like where my husband works, where I work, all those kind of things. The landlords want to see all that, guys. Yes, they want to see. They want to be sure that you can pay, because immigrants are brand new. They are not sure whether you have a job. They are not sure whether you have savings, and they just want to be put on the safe side. They would rather give their house to a broke citizen or a broke Canadian than a rich immigrant. They don't care. They don't know who you are. They don't care whether you have like 7 houses in Banana Island where you're coming from. That might help, because by the time you see the size of your account, it might help. But even with that, they might still tell you no. Do you get? So we put out applications, and you have to put out your applications like a number, not just one. You know, there was a funny thing that happened. Like, I saw a particular house. So this is what my realtor does. She'll give me a list, a link. I'll go check out the houses. I will look through the pictures, and I trusted her. Trust your realtor. Without even coming to see the house physically, I felt like I was seeing what I wanted, and it was very, very close. The pictures were very close. It was not like as if I was seeing something so different. So trust your realtor too. So on the particular occasion, I viewed the house I wanted. I was viewing this house from the link, and I was like, yes, Shadi, this is it. I have seen what I want. I want this house. I want this house. I want this house. I was doing that very little dance. I'm sure she was laughing somewhere, and right now looking back, and I'm like, I didn't know what I was expecting. She was like, Tommy, it doesn't work that way. You've not found house yet. You have to submit your application, and the landlord has to vet you and say, yes, I want you. And I was like, they'll tell me they want me. Like, are you for real? She's like, yes, they have to tell you they want you. So you put out applications, they'll look through your profile. It's not beef, it's nothing. They might just not feel comfortable. They have your passport or whatever. They might look at your face or something. They might just be like, I don't want this person, I don't want a Nigerian. And it's not racism, it's nothing. Like, at some point I was feeling bad, I was feeling down about it, and my husband was like, Pumi, in Nigeria, don't people also scrutinize the kind of people they give their houses to? So people say, oh, I don't want this particular tribe, I don't want single ladies. Have you not heard that in Lagos? Like, yeah, I remember when I was single, as at that time my elder sister and myself were trying to get a house, and we couldn't get because there were like 2 single ladies. Yeah, it happened to me in Nigeria about 12 years ago. 13 years ago, we couldn't get a house because we were single. And I know that still happens till now. So you can be scrutinized based on your tribe, based on like different things, based on the fact that you're single, based on the fact that you have pets and all that. And the same thing happens here. So they look through your profile and they decide to give you the house based on whatever they see, based on whatever they like. Do you get? They want to be sure that you can pay. And I don't blame them actually, because the mortgage is really, really high. The interest rates are high right now. I'm still going to do a video to ask whether it is wise to actually buy a house and be servicing the mortgage, or rather rent, because the mortgages are high. You can imagine a mortgage of a house that you're staying, it might be like 5k, whereas you're paying 3k. So the landlord needs to be on the safe side. Despite the fact that you're paying rent, it doesn't cover everything for their mortgage. So they don't want to have a tenant that will default by a month, because that might mean that you also default by a month, and that spells out red for them. It affects them on the long run, except they have extra money to bring out. So they also need to be very, very careful. So I don't blame them. Now that I've gotten into the system and I know how things work, I also do not blame them. Do you get? So please note that it's not like personal. Don't take it personal at all. You get no's, you also get yeses. This is me. I got a lot of yeses, and I also turned them down because it didn't fit into my brief. Like, I asked my realtor and I was like, okay, Shadi, can I put this one in my hand first while I still search for another? And she was like, to me, no, you can't do that, because it's a contract. Once they've told you yes, you can get their house, they've told you yes, and they are not planning to give the house to someone else. So you can't keep it and start looking for elsewhere. Once you've said yes, you've said yes. And I was like, please, let's wait in that case. So I told a number of people to no's, I don't want your house. Do you get? So it's that same way. The same way they told me no's, I also said no, because I'll be like, should I compromise? Should I give in to this house? Because it was getting tiring at some point, and I was ready to just take any house because I was getting tired. As in, I was excited, I got to a point I was disappointed, and I was like, I will just settle for anything. And I am so glad I didn't settle, because I had what I had in mind, and I was like, I can't be paying this amount for rent and I'll be expecting and I'll be managing it. Do you get? I wanted something that I was going to really be happy with, and I'm so glad, so glad that at the end of the day it was exactly what I wanted. And my realtor just told me, at this point, I know the kind of person you are, and she was like, can you just go to sleep and let me work on this? Give me 2 days and I'll give you the house you're looking for. Guys, I'm not trying to be too whatever. that is what happened. You know, on my own, I was like, I want this house, I want this house. I was even sharing pictures with her, and she was like, Tommy, you don't understand. Let me look for your house for you. The moment I allowed her do that, this is someone that has experience. She knows Canada more than me. I just slept, and you know the way the time difference is. I woke up one morning and I saw a link and I saw pictures, and I was like, where did you get this house from? That is this my current house. She was like, if I told you to allow me search for a house for you, that I'll get you what I want. I said, Shadi, please, I want this house. I hope they've not paid for it. That kind of thing. She's like, no, no, they've not paid for it. Just chill. We'll submit the application. Though I know that is almost done, because these are people I have worked with. I work with the agents and all that. I will submit the application for you, but I know it's a done deal. She submitted the application. The landlord said yes, and I was like, finally. Do you get like, this was something we've been doing for like a month. So time is of essence. You need to start early. At least 4 to 6 weeks before you land, if possible. You might get in a shorter time, but it depends on you. I also had demands. I also had standards I wanted. My standards, it's not like something very high, but I knew what I wanted. I really knew what I wanted. I knew, like, I was particular about space, like almost everything, and I was glad that I got someone that saw my picture, saw my dream, and was willing to work with me. So thank God I gave her enough time. We had enough time, and we were able to do the back and forth a lot. Another thing I might tell you guys is, I don't know how soon you're planning to travel. I got my PR papers back in July, August last year, and I didn't travel until April this year. I know how much it is to rent. Almost like I had a fair amount I was working with. From the time I got my papers, I was not ready to travel immediately, because I wanted to work on a lot of things, mentally, financially, in every way. I wanted to be prepared, and I was saving like from the get-go. I know how housing can be, and I was saving. My family was saving, my husband was saving. We had to save for this, because these days you're coming into Canada as an immigrant, and they're not asking you for just 2 months rent. Usually people think that they ask for first and last month, but now it's getting crazy. And like I said, I don't also blame the landlords, because the housing market right now is crazy. These days you might be expected to pay at least 6 months rent to 1 year. I know someone that's on my street, she paid for 1 year. 1 year. She signed a lease of 1 year and paid 1 year. Yes. So let's say your rent is about 2K. Multiply that by 12. You're paying 24K. Unfortunately, yes, that is it. It's win-win, but it's not easy dropping that kind of money. But at least you know that by the time you land, you don't have the immediate pressure, like, oh, month in, month out, you're looking for the money to drop and all that. It's not easy dropping it. 24K. It might not even be 24K, it might be more than that. It might be like 30K or something. Guys, it's definitely not easy, but that is what the housing market, especially in Ontario, is turning into. I can't speak for other provinces. I don't know for other provinces, but I know Ontario is really getting very expensive. People used to believe that British Columbia was even more expensive than Ontario, but right now Ontario is expensive, and British Columbia at least are getting something like, you know what you're getting, like Hollywood standard. Ontario, you see the house and you're wondering, is this what I'm paying 3K for? Oh my goodness. Like, I have seen houses that people like advertise on Instagram in Texas. Forget Texas. Texas is actually very affordable, sha. But I see houses and I'll be like, this looks too good to be true. Like, are you guys serious? In Ontario, I'll buy 5 and I'll even have change. But guys, on a more serious note, so that's it. So for me, I had to save. I knew what I was getting into. If it is possible, so you might get here, have a job and be able to pay the money immediately. But for me, it depends on your circumstance. For me, I knew it might not be the case. I knew it was easier for me to like work a bit in Nigeria and save up, even though now the Naira is not favorable, but I chose to wait. It was better for me. So you have to look at your own. So everybody's story is not the same. For me, it was going to be easier for me to like save up a bit in naira and like pay here and all that. But for some people, it's better for you to just travel down and start making your money. So it all depends on how your circumstances. Just look at it. Have time, save. It's very, very important. Those are the things I will tell you, because your money, you will need to have that amount of money. Trust me, guys. If it means you will like compromise on some other things, you might have to compromise on your car. Probably if you're thinking of buying a brand new car, better keep that money for your house instead. If you have the money, why not? I know people that have gotten houses. My realtor has gotten people houses like in choice locations, 4-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 5-bedroom, nice houses. You might have the money. So don't let me talk like as if everybody doesn't have that money. You might have the money. Why not? If you have that money, why not? You drop it. But let me just tell you that you may need to pay upfront for a long time. It helps you because you might not be under pressure. But like I said, the pressure of dropping the money there and then might be a lot. So those are the things I want you to consider. Work with your realtor, and there are a lot of things you need to put into consideration. Like for me, now I was saying that I was giving my realtor like ideas and all that, but she really found my house for me. You have to consider your neighborhood, where you really want your kids to like grow up and mingle and all that. Times are crazy, things are getting crazier. So to be honest, even though Canada is a very safe country and all that, you still need to like open your two eyes and be watchful. Do you guess? Like, what's the crime rate, all those kind of things. The school is very important, because the school your kids will be will be going to will be around you. So you have to consider all that. Those are all the things I considered. Like, I'll see some very nice places and she'll be like to me, no, this neighborhood is not so fantastic. It might not be too good for you and your little ones and your kids and all that. Is it close to the hospital? Is it close to where you can shop? Is it close to like those kind of things? You have to bear that in mind. So those are the things I had in mind. That is why we had a lot of back and forth, because I'll see some other places and she'll be like, no, I don't want this place for you, consider this other place and all that. So we had a fair picture. We had what we were working with. Some people will tell you to wait until when you land before you start looking for your house, but it depends on the person that is looking for you. If you trust the person that is looking for you, trust me, you don't even need to land before you see the house. My lease started reading from April 15, because most times your lease starts from like the beginning of the month or the middle of the month, like from 1st of April, 15th of April, that kind of thing. Mine started like 15th of April, and I am so glad I started it that way. I landed in Canada 17th of April. So that's, my house was done. That was already out of the way. I didn't have to bother about house as I got here. Like, I am so glad. On the other hand, it might not be the same for a lot of people. So that's, I'm saying that time is of essence. Start early and know the person that is helping you. The person that helped me, Carissa Realty, she's good. Anywhere in like Ontario, anywhere in like Ontario, I know she can help you get a house, especially around the GTA, anywhere from like Toronto, Brampton, Vaughan, Hamilton, Milton, Richmond, Kitchener, London, Petersburg, Kingston. Like, she gets houses for people in all these areas. I look at her Instagram and I'll be like, oh my god, babe, how are you doing this thing? I remember when I was trying to get my house and she posts like a success story that she has been able to do. I'll be like, please put my house here too, that kind of thing. So she constantly puts it out there. I got this house, and she's like, most people use her because before you land, your house is done. Like, you have your house. Most people, before they land, your house has already been paid for. You're just moving into the house, and it might be cheaper for you because you might get here and you're first in an Airbnb. It's not cheap to be in an Airbnb before you eventually now go to your house. Some people prefer to land, stay in an Airbnb for like 1 month, 3 weeks, and they go scouting for their houses. But for me, I chose to trust her, and we started the search way early and we did all that, and when I came in, the house was ready. So that was, for me, it might not be the same thing for you. It all depends on what you want. If you want to come in, settle down, start checking the houses one by one. It all depends on you, but for me, I am so glad I went the route I did, and I like it for me on the long run. So that's it, guys. That's my video. My realtor was Carissa Realty. In case you want to use her, in case you want to like engage her services, she's available. Why not? She doesn't even know I'm doing this video. It's just because somebody asked me how I got my house. She doesn't even know I did this video, so it's not an ad in any way. Like I said, you're not paying anything as a tenant. The landlord would pay her. You just ask her, provide the required documents, and yeah, that's it. You get your house just like that. So have savings, have some time, have everything you're supposed to have, and yes, you have your house. Please, if you've not subscribed, kindly subscribe, because I have so many more videos I'm going to be bringing your way. I have them loaded. I am so sorry that it's taking time. It's not easy to like settle down in a new country and all that, but please guys, I hope you are ready when I'm going to be ready, because it's just going to be coming like dang da dang. Okay, I'll see you in subsequent ones. Stay beautiful, stay blessed. Bye.